Coming up right now, it's the stuff nightmares are made of. A patient wakes up just seconds before he could have been an organ donor.
Also coming up, another story of survival. A woman's donation run almost turns deadly as she returns from her good deed. We'll discuss the video.
Yeah, all right, a little bit later on. Have you ever wondered what the O in o'clock stands for? Well, we're going to educate you. That's coming up.
All right, Daily Flash. I think it starts.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oh, right now.
Oh, right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I am Mitch English. Thank you so much for joining us. The Daily Flash.
Daily Flash.
Hello. Our hype man over there. Get off your phone, hype man.
He's busy with his 5 other jobs.
I see that. He's always busy.
And
Always
his 5
hustling.
wives.
Another hustler is our one and only Matt Doolittle. He's joining us today as well. What's up there, Matty?
Guys, my Disney passes are increasing by $100.
$100?
Yeah.
Have you heard about the VIP thing, the $5.99?
Oh yeah, no, I'm well
Wait,
aware
what?
now. Like it's a
Front
whole
of the
thing
line.
to go to Disney now. It's
Yes, of course you'll still
The
go.
wife and I
there you
will
go. So the
still go.
$4.99 thing is it ranges. It depends on how many people show up there that day, but it will get you at the front of the line. And they're saying it's an additional. It's almost additional $500 extra.
Just for the day.
For the day.
Yeah.
That's
Long
not
time
an
though.
annual pass.
No.
you
And
can
it
buy.
depends on how many people are there too. If it can get up to $500.
I'm already paying over $600 for each annual pass.
Ooh, Rockefeller. Oh, nice. I'm paying for my kids' dental work.
We like the dinners at Epcot, okay?
They do have some good food there.
Yeah.
Just wait, all their amusement parks are doing the same. So you're going to see dynamic pricing.
Dynamic pricing.
Dynamic
Which
pricing.
is
That's what they like to
the
call
people
it.
that, it depends on how many people show each
That's
day.
what we like to call it.
Like I like how they try and phrase it.
Dynamic. Because
pricing.
dynamic sounds fun.
It does,
right?
doesn't it?
Dynamic means it can
We're
change
ripping
according.
you off, but it's dynamic.
dynamic.
Is that what they give you at Ponderosa, dynamic pricing?
Ponderosa? Jesus, who been to Ponderosa? I thought they were kind of
Are those even open
You're taking me
anymore?
way back now.
Ponderosas. I
They
don't
had
think
some
those
good
are
chicken.
open. Okay, Gen Z is calling out sick from work more than their, let's say, baby boomer counterparts.
Oh, all right.
And the reason being is they are complaining of back and neck pain. 30% of Gen Z has said they will call out sick if they've got a neck or a back
I got
pain.
sciatica.
There you go.
Sciatica,
I
Maddie
got
says.
it.
Compared to, of the folks Gen X or other generations that they work with. And here's the reason why doctors are saying
bad.
Computers
it's
and
these
stuff.
things.
Yeah.
Tech neck is becoming a serious
neck.
issue. They call it tech neck. Doctors are saying they are increasingly seeing that hunchback that people get when they're in their 60s or 70s. They call it crooked neck. And they're also seeing something called skeleton horns that are building at
heard
the
about that.
base
I've
of
heard
the
about that, yeah.
skeleton, all because of the way you're looking at screens and typing and keeping your head down. These bones are starting to grow in the back of young necks because of all of this
Didn't we
screen
do
time.
a story about people with their pinky finger,
Yes,
holding
the pinky
phone?
finger, yep.
And then you go, all right, well, we'll go and we'll just throw a Bluetooth thing in our ear. And then you realize
our
we
hearing.
don't know what Bluetooth is doing yet. And I'm sorry. They said that we had doctors that were saying, have a cigarette back in the 50s.
Yes.
And this Bluetooth thing. And my wife, if I'll keep my phone like right here.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you don't keep it there. I'm like, well, you don't have to worry. I'm not going to have any more kids.
Don't keep it on your bits. Don't keep it on your bits.
That's right. And so much so she bought me a sleeve thing that goes on it that will stop all the radiation, but you can't get a signal if you put it
Yeah.
in there. I'm like, well, then it serves
the
no
point?
purpose, right? So, but I can understand that, I could see that, but to call in sick to say, oh, my neck hurts, I mean, that's called life. I mean,
Yes, it is. That is true.
It's not contagious. I get it. Take an aspirin or whatever, and granted, just pull your part.
I wonder too, what the effect of earbuds and earphones and all of that stuff.
what?
Yeah, exactly.
Eh?
Yeah, the earbuds.
Eh?
Uh-huh.
So the next excuse is, well, I didn't hear I had to come into work. No,
But you do know what to invest in next.
Yes.
what?
Hearing aids.
Hearing aid? Well, Apple has already come out and said they're trying
Yes.
to get certified to make your earbuds
Buds, a hearing aid.
actual hearing aids.
Yes.
So these government subsidized.
Isn't that interesting? Now, what about eyes? I notice if I spend too much time on my phone or on my iPad, my eyes start to get a little bit.
Jackson, it's weird. We just had this conversation. I got to go to an optometrist.
You got to get new glasses.
I got to get a new prescription.
really?
I cannot see now where I would
Are
live
you
with this.
serious?
This far.
Bifocals?
It's making a big deal, and they saying a lot of it. If you've had COVID, it has. This last round has done something to people's eyes.
No
That's what
way.
I've seen. I talked to
I'm
many
almost
people.
40,
saying that.
and for some reason, I still have great eye vision.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know
good.
how.
That's good.
Both my parents had like horrible vision.
It's all those visits to Epcot as well.
Yes.
You don't have to pay for an optometrist. All right.
Living with the land.
There you go. Let's jump into some of the trending stories here. And this one freaks me out. Nightmare scenario played out at a Kentucky hospital. Patient wakes up seconds before the doctor's about to take out his guts, his organs. Thomas T.J. Hoover was taken to the hospital back in October.
Thomas T.J. Hoover. That's a real name?
It's very close to T.J. Hooker, but it's T.J. Hoover. He went to the hospital back in 2021. He overdosed on drugs. He was later declared brain dead, right? Well, fast forward to this year. And a nurse was wheeling him into the OR for organ donation, thinking, well, he died. Hoover's sister says that he opened up his eyes when he was on the gurney as he was being moved from intensive care. But she was told it was a typical reflex, did not mean he was still alive. Seconds before the doctors were about to remove his organs, he woke up on the operating table. He is now, this is the good news, he's living with his sister, has made an incredible recovery as well after 3 years being in the hospital. That's got to be a crazy, crazy thing.
Yeah.
Which also makes us think about our conscious when we are in a coma or whatever. Because a lot of times they say they can hear you, they just can't respond.
They can't respond.
And if this guy knows, look, I'm about to get my guts taken out, maybe I should wake up.
Yeah, maybe I should do something. Here's another story of death-defying survival. A woman escapes death after a massive water tank falls on top of her. Security video shows the woman casually eating an apple while crossing the street. That's when a massive gray water container lands right on top of her. Moments later, you can see her head pop out from beneath the rubble. A security guard says the tank was accidentally dropped by a scrap collector who was clearing out items on a rooftop. The woman's luck may be a bit of good karma because she was on her way home after donating to a local temple.
Okay, so we were watching this, the whole crew on this, and then this is what happens because everything's AI these days. I don't know. It looks like we were watching it, the slow-mo. Let's keep this up, Marilyn, if you can. The slow motion part where it falls right on it, and it looks like she disappears from the frame, which means that it's been doctored up. Or
We
whatever.
got multiple media people on our team, and they're looking at it going,
Right there.
something's not right.
And to me, the whole background looks like it's frozen, like it's like a green screen, and then this pops out like it's more 3D. So that would suggest that maybe it was.
So some say, well, all right, we saw something fly up in the air, it could be your shoe or whatever. And I mean, first off, it's incredible if it's real.
There's no movement in the back.
Yeah. So to me, I'm not going to buy this for now because I know we're all going to be taken. However, if it's real, okay, it's great. And she did some. The whole thing is, well, she just left donating, so she's like. And I hate being jaded like that, man. I hate it. I want this to be real.
Though. You got to look. There's nothing
like, oh, he
moving in the
almost
background.
died, but it's
but he lived.
Yeah, maybe it was real, maybe it wasn't.
And then they cut to the two guys coming into the screen. You don't see them naturally walk.
It's a hard cut.
And Braden made a good point. One of our camera guys is like, if you watch a video, it's blurry for a little bit. Like they put like a thing to kind of you lose a little bit of it.
Oh yeah.
And you never know. I mean, this comes from a camera, and we're in a high tech age. So I don't know, man. If you pass, I wouldn't pass this around because I ain't 100% sure if it's real.
This is your lesson. Churches take Cash App now. Cash App and Zelle, so you don't have to leave the house.
What's the sense? It's India. They're the ones always calling over here from those
The
companies.
street food is more dangerous than that falling on top of her.
Have you ever woken up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night? You're saying, "Oh my God, what does the O in o'clock stand for?"
Vegas,
yes, all the time.
Well, Vegas, there is no time in Vegas, Maddie. Social media posts asking users to share their thoughts. It actually brought up some the usual responses, like it means zero, omega, and a whole lot more. And some suggested it was a contraction of the phrase on the clock. The final answer, now you could be that guy. The O in o'clock stands for of the.
Oh,
What?
Of the.
Oh,
Yeah, like
that's
of the
not
clock. It's
fancy.
10 of the clock. The phrase o'clock is a contraction of the phrase of the clock, which was used to specify time according to the clock. And the explanation was backed up from experts at the Britannica Dictionary. They say an apostrophe is used in o'clock because the word is in a contraction of the phrase of the clock.
Oh.
So there you have it. You're now in the know. If it is 10:50, what would you say?
10 to 11.
Tend to your own business. That's what we would always
Wow,
do.
he just
Remember that
rocked
one?
you. He just Dwayne Johnson.
remember that one?
rocked
He
you.
did.
You guys ever remember that? What time?
No.
It's
No,
10
no,
to
I
10
get
to
it,
what?
yeah.
10 to your own business.
I've never heard
Wow.
that before.
Really?
Never. But I like it.
I did it in a southern voice, but maybe it was just me in the South growing up. I don't know.
Tend to your own
10 to your own
business.
business. Yo, mama. How, y'all, listen, there is more coming up as we are now about, 10 after the hour. We're going to tend to our own business. The Scene with Doreen's going to be talking to Santana's drummer coming up. Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. Our next guest is a psychologist and an author, Dr. Nekeshia Hammond. She has a new book out. It's entitled Mindset Training, Conquer Your Mind and the Rest Will Follow. In the book, she actually stresses the importance of self-care. Dr. Hammond, welcome to Daily Flash. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me today.
All right, let's talk about self-care. Some people could say, oh, it's actually thought of as being selfish, but that's not really the case. Explain that.
Not at all. So it does get a bad rap sometimes that it is selfish, but it's really not. Because when you really take the time to work on yourself, to work on being a better, more powerful version of who you are, you're actually helping yourself and all of the people around you. So it's actually the complete opposite of being selfish.
Yeah, right when you said that, I thought, yes, that's 100%. No one likes to be around the person that has issues that they're not dealing with.
No.
And they stay away, and you're actually helping yourself, sure, but it helps other people learn how to deal with you. But there's some examples that you say in your book about holistic self-care. What can we do that we can actually start implementing these that help us better our lives?
Yeah, that's a great question. One of the things that I highly recommend for people to think about is starting with taking 60 seconds a day. So 1 minute. I know we're all busy. I know we think self-care can be overwhelming, but when you take the 1 minute to reset and recharge, you really start to retrain your brain to understand that you deserve to be emotionally healthy, you deserve to be happy, and you deserve to have the self-care that you need to thrive in your life.
And is this a scheduled thing, or is it a self-realization thing? Is like, all right, I'm freaking out, I need to have 1 minute, or do we say, all right, we're going to start the day with 1 minute somewhere? What would the best way to implement that?
Yeah, that's also a great question. So one of the things is for you to think about for you, what works best for you? Are you a morning person? You need to start your day with that 1 minute reset. Or do you need to do this in the evening or maybe in the afternoon, like during a lunch break? So you decide for you what works best for you. But really it's designed to be more preventative as well. So when we start to train our body and our mind that we can reset, take a break, not always be in flight or fight mode,
Yeah.
then we're really working on being better versions of ourselves.
I think what we hear more and more now that you, even as the pandemic's over and we're kind of getting back to kind of normality, is that we get to a point where we have burnout. Explain to me how
Yes.
self-care can actually help prevent this.
Yeah, and burnout happens when we're so overwhelmed. We have so much fatigue, whether it's physical and or mental fatigue, where we are so drained. But again, when we're taking the time to start to really work on ourselves, making yourself your number one priority. I know it's hard, but putting the self-care you need into your life, you start to work on things to relax your body, lower your blood pressure, get your mind and your body back to a place of calm for your sanity, but also for your physical and mental health.
You know, in your book, you actually discuss about exploring a balance between having abundance and then scarcity. Why is that important to know, and how does that relate to actually self-care?
Yeah, it's because a lot of us have this mentality of scarcity, unfortunately, meaning we think everything's going to go wrong, we don't deserve certain things.
Yeah.
Maybe you're struggling with self-love. But really, when you get into a mindset of abundance, you understand that you do deserve those things. You deserve to thrive. You deserve to be the best version of yourself for the people around you. So it's really important to work on resetting our mindset.
And how do we go about doing that? I mean, is it a matter? I know exactly what you're saying. It's like if you feel like you don't have enough, you'll start grabbing, and you'll. I always say a drowning man will grab a spaghetti noodle if he thinks it's going to save him. So if you feel like there's nothing around to be able to help you out of something, you'll grab towards it. Is having that balance just doing a daily inventory, or what?
Yes, a great way to start also, which we don't do a lot of because we're so overwhelmed, is to really ask yourself a couple of key questions. One is asking yourself, how am I doing? And checking in with yourself, not everyone else, only everyone else, but also yourself. The second thing is asking yourself, what do I need physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally? And then the third question to ask yourself is, what step do I need to take today to make these improvements to my life? And sometimes it's just a baby step, which is okay.
Is indulgence part of it? Meaning, like, we say self-care. You say, well, I want to do something for me. When I go grocery shopping, I always get a little treat for myself that the wife doesn't know about. But I mean, is that a good thing or bad thing? Is that
She might know
keeping that
now.
balance? She knows now, yeah.
No, and it is. Sometimes it's just as simple as that. I think self-care, we think of these grand, luxurious vacations or something that takes so much time. And it can be that too, but you're right. It's the simple thing sometimes. Grab that quick treat, take that minute for yourself, do what it is for you that brings you joy. You're allowed to have joy. You're allowed to take care of yourself. We have to unlearn a lot of things sometimes that we were taught about how everything else comes before our health, but that's really not true. And we have to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. So I love it. Yes, keep getting your treats.
All right. Good. So I have doctor's approval. Thank you so much, doctor. We really appreciate that. And if you want to get your very own copy of Dr. Hammond's book that can really help you about self-care, which, by the way, is going to help your entire family and the people that are around you, you can check out her website. It's drnekeshiahammond.com. Don't worry if you don't catch this or write it down. We'll have it on our website. You can go and check it out at any time at dailyflashshow.com. There you'll not only find this link, this whole interview, but also everything that we've been talking about the show. And by the way, as always, our entire episodes are there at dailyflashshow.com.
And then there's this. Mitch, thank you. Standard Bots is a company aimed at building and training robots to think for themselves using artificial intelligence. The company is one of the first to use it for commercial purposes rather than academic research. AI allows robots to learn a task like pouring a soda into a cup by capturing the motion through cameras and mirroring it. This means robots may be smart enough to fill manufacturing jobs or wash dishes in restaurants within the next 5 years. The goal is to help companies that already use automation by making the workflow more efficient and more affordable.
Don't they have those, I think there's a McDonald's that actually is all automated by doing that sort of thing. And it goes to show you how close we are, right?
Yeah, very true. From ordering to actually delivering, you've got it. It's all AI driven, some of this stuff.
All right, good stuff there. Is it true? We'll be talking about a Hollywood urban legend, or is it, when we return? Hey, welcome back to everybody to the Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. We got this week's Is It True? This is where we debunk or reaffirm those social media posts your mom sent to you. And we let you know if they're real or not. So let's jump right in. Earlier this month, social media users revived an old claim that the skeletons in the iconic 1982 movie Poltergeist scene were actually real human skeletons and not replicas. Here's what the post generally says. In Poltergeist, real human skeletons were used as props without the actor's knowledge. The prop masters sourced the skeletons from a medical supply company that was cheaper than actually making replicas. It goes on to say that JoBeth Williams, the actress who played Diane, spent 5 days filming scenes with those skeletons in mud-filled pools, unaware that they were actually real. So if you see it pop up in your inbox, what do you think? Is it rumor, just is it an internet rumor, or is it real? AJ and Matt, what do you say?
I think it's real.
I think it's 100% real. I mean, especially
100%
if they can
real?
save money.
Well, it actually did save money, and they were actually real skeletons.
Wow.
Multiple crew members from that film confirmed that they were real human skeletons.
Oh my
in that
goodness.
scene where Diane Freeling, played by JoBeth Williams, falls into a pool filled with decaying skeletons, JoBeth has actually stated on multiple separate occasions that the skeletons were real. It was years later, however, when she found out that they were just skeletons. The special effects guy on Poltergeist says he actually ordered it from a company that provides biological supplies. So there you have it. Is it true? It absolutely is. It's time now, though. Let's jump in and find out on the scene with Doreen. Let's find out who she's actually talking to today.
This week on The Scene with Doreen, I got to sit down with one of Rolling Stone magazine's greatest drummers of all time, Michael Shreve. He's known for playing with the band Santana, and he just released a new album. Check it out. I read that in your early years, you had a very strong desire to become a priest, but you were kicked out of every Catholic school that you attended.
I don't know why. There's no explaining why like a boy in grade school would ride his bicycle to 6 a.m. mass every day. But that was me. And it's a little bit hard to explain, but I think it's kind of the spark that every child has towards something. And I had that. I wanted to be a priest. I wanted to be a missionary. I guess God had other plans. And so my mission was music, and I traveled and brought that, and hopefully brought some joy and peace and happiness to people that way.
So while you were getting kicked out of all of these schools, that's when you discovered your love for the drums.
Continuing in the same vein, I'm now at a public school after getting kicked out of grade school, Catholic school. And I'm in a class, and the teacher asked me to leave and go to the principal's office. So obviously I was doing something wrong again. And on the way back to the room, the room that I was kicked out of, I passed the band room, and the door was open, and the percussion section was right there. And that was it. I just saw the drums and everything, and it all struck me in a way that told me I'm going to be doing this.
You've really become known for your electrifying drum solo with Santana at Woodstock in 1969. That was right out of the gate for you in your career. With over 50 years of working on amazing musical projects, do you ever feel that incredible body of work is overshadowed by that one performance?
Oh, yes, all the time. You know, it's Woodstock. Everybody's telling me how much they love Woodstock, and I'm doing all these interesting projects, and I'm trying to tell them about it. Have you heard this? Have you heard this? You know, can we get away from Woodstock sort of thing? And then one day it hit me, Doreen, where I just realized, you know, just shut up. Just accept it, and just be grateful that there's something that you've done that moves people that much still.
So coming from a Catholic school background and your early desire to be a priest, what was it like playing at Woodstock? Was it a cultural shock?
Well, I had been in that environment now for some years, being in the Bay Area, but of course Woodstock was a whole nother level, a whole nother story, a whole nother gathering of sort of minds and spirit that nobody expected. There was a togetherness. There was a sense of belonging that everybody was feeling there at that time, and that they had made it to a sort of mecca. And the thing felt like, everybody felt like we're really changing things here.
Congratulations on your new album, Drums of Compassion. It really finds a beautiful balance of power, but also tranquility.
I thought to myself, what kind of record could I make as a drummer at 2 a.m. that I would want to put on and help me relax? Mm-hmm. And so this is the answer to that. People can just relax into completely, like let go with that rhythm.
Visit michaelshrieve.com, pick up the latest album, Drums of Compassion, and keep up to date with what this talented musician and visionary has in store for the fans next.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
And if you want to hear more of the great conversation, visit here. I'm Doreen Taylor with The Scene with Doreen here at the Daily Flash each week. See you next time.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everybody. I am Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
Thanks for joining us today. We love having you here, and we're going to be hanging out with you for the rest of the show. So, stick around. We're going to have some fun. The guy that's been tracking Taylor Swift, her airplane. You heard about this guy? He's a UCF, University of Central Florida student. Go Knights.
Go Knights.
Yeah, he's a Knight. His name is Jack Sweeney, and he tracks celebrities' jets.
Yes, with the tail number,
With the
right?
tail number, which we'll get to in just a second. He tracks Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and of course Taylor Swift. And I think she had came out and said, "I'm trying to be carbon neutral. I'm not going to do it." And they're like, "Well, that's interesting. You just flew across the country,
flying
that
around
sort
the
of
globe
thing."
in your private jet.
Well, he found out that Meta blacked him out altogether. So he said, and they gave him no warning and no explanation as why. They said, "You're off of our platforms." He's actually been blocked by 40 accounts so far on multiple platforms altogether. So, and the reason I said I'll come back to that. So this is a guy that he tracks all you have to do is just, the number that's on the back. You can do this, like if you see a movie and it has an airplane, like a private airplane, you can find out where it went. All you got to do is type it in.
Michael Jordan's private plane has MJ23.
Yeah, a lot of them have. Yeah, like it's neat how they'll add that in there. But anyway, they have. You can track it. Anybody can track it. He just puts it on social media, and they don't like that. They don't like. And I'm like, well, if you wanted to find out where it's at, it's very simple to do.
Yeah.
Literally, you can just Google it. You can just type it in.
Can't you just go into the FAA website and put in the
do
tail
that, too.
number, and then you can find out where it's going?
It's very simple, and where it's been, who owns it, who's leasing it, and where it goes. And now they do have the option where they can black it out, kind of truncate it, where you don't know where it's at and that sort of thing. But the pilot would have to do that prior to his flight.
Does it get the AI Coogie sweater?
It does not, unfortunately not.
We talked about that in the other show.
I think now we'll be able to know where Mark Zuckerberg is at all times.
I need to know.
Yeah,
I need to know where
Mark Zuckerberg is.
Right now.
Right now, immediately. I can understand it from a safety perspective and a privacy perspective, especially for some of these folks who might be a little bit more high profile and might be, in the line of fire,
certainly,
per se, But I think it is public information, so.
That's where it comes down to. He's like, all I'm doing is just regurgitating public information. That's all I'm doing. So I'm kind of on his side on that, but at the same time, too, I can understand they would like to have some of their privacy. And you know what? If I know that Taylor Swift is landing in Des Moines, Iowa, do I really care?
Yeah, but why don't they do the same for folks who dox other people with their personal and private information? Like, to me, if you have a political disagreement with someone and then you post all their personal information on any of these social media sites, those people should be kicked off as well and banned, to be honest with you.
And their information should be put out there as well. I mean, if it's fair play, everybody gets after that.
Sure. Well, a nightmare scenario played out at a Kentucky hospital. This is crazy. As a patient woke up seconds before doctors were about to remove his organs.
All right, well, there you go.
I mean,
I'm
a couple
done.
of us
I'm
sit
done.
here and feel like that
Thomas
issue.
T.J. Hoover was taken to the hospital in October of 2021 after overdosing on drugs. He was later declared brain dead. Fast forward to 2024 when a nurse was wheeling him into the OR for organ donation. Hoover's sister says he opened his eyes on the gurney as he was being moved from intensive care, but she was told it was just a typical reflex and did not mean he was still alive. Seconds before doctors were about to remove his organs, he woke up on the operating table. Hoover is now living with his sister and making an incredible recovery.
As God is my witness, we're talking about our wills, my wife and I, and she's like, we really need to get, now that we're married, we need to figure all this stuff out. And I said, Liza, I'll sign one. All I say in my will, you will check 4 times to make sure I'm dead. I don't care if you have to punch me in the face.
Do you need the ding bell? When you're in the, like Howard Stern has talked about this, he wants to be buried, but he needs a ding bell.
They used to do that a long time ago.
Yeah.
But my thing is,
bury people.
I'm laying on the table and they're about to do this.
Yes.
And that never happened.
Yes.
It just happened in Kentucky.
You just come back up.
So keep me away from Kentucky doctors and from just make sure I'm dead. Do whatever you got to do.
If you have the slightest inclination that somebody might be alive on their way to getting their organs donated, I would just throw up flares.
I think it's a very good cause. Yeah.
I mean, that's me every morning.
All right, we will revive. We will be here with all our organs when we return. Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. A board-certified veterinarian and TV correspondent, Dr. Courtney Campbell, joins us now with tips for keeping your pets healthy while managing the cost of care.
October is Pet Wellness Month, but any month, to be honest, is an outstanding month to talk about pet wellness. And so we think about the 4 cornerstones of pet wellness really being maintaining a healthy weight for your pet, right? Because we see more health issues associated with pets being overweight and being under-exercised. Number 2, sort of knowing normals, right? That's so important to know what's normal for your pet. That way, the abnormal will be much more apparent. And of course, seeing your veterinarian on a regular basis for regular vaccinations and parasite control is essential. And then, of course, early detection. And early detection only occurs through regular visits with your veterinarian. But so many pet parents grapple with the decision of paying for expenses of their pet's health and then their own personal finances with these vet visits. So that's why it's such a treat to announce the relationship that Synchrony has with health insurance under the Better Together campaign. And this Better Together campaign works with a seamless reimbursement through the Care Credit credit card and Pets Best health insurance. And here's the way it works. Simply step 1, go see your veterinarian. Number 2, pay for those services using the Care Credit credit card. Number 3, file a claim with Pets Best health insurance. And then number 4, just simply await reimbursement. So this shows that the Care Credit credit card and Pets Best health insurance work better together. This lifts all families up. And if I feel like we can unite all families towards pet health care, then we truly understand that we are better together.
All right, guys, you know I'm a big Halloween buff, and let's talk about Halloween. The quest for the perfect costume, the right decor, and the endless supply of candy, especially the big bars. But as we know, Halloween shopping can get spooky quickly. Think last-minute dashes to the store that can turn joy into fright. This is where Ship steps in, transforming that shopping stress into convenience. To tell us how is Erin Slay Wilson, Ship's shopping specialist.
We all see those kiddos coming up with 2 hands, right? And we're like, oh no, we don't have enough. So make sure you don't have that situation this year. Add a couple of extra bags of candy to your regular grocery order. We deliver, of course, from your beloved local grocery stores and national brands like Target and Lowe's and Sephora to make sure you're ready for the big day. My tip would be, again, add those candy bags to your order ahead of time and then do a big candy order with our Halloween promo. Save $10 with code Halloween now through October 31st. Get that big candy order. Make sure you always have 2 to 3 more bags than you think you're going to need. Chocolate's always a big favorite, and you'll be ready for the big day. If you've never tried Shipt and you want to try us out for free, you can do that for 2 weeks. We think you're going to love it, and then you can sign up. We'll have some member promos as well coming up for the holiday season. So just check our website, shipt.com, shipt.com. You'll see all the deals, special offers, things like that right there.
The seediest night spot in New York City isn't a club or a restaurant. It's a parking lot next to a bar in Chinatown. After the go-to spot opened as time again in late May, it quickly became one of Manhattan's buzziest hangouts, in part thanks to the open outdoor real estate, which allows crowds of regular Joes and celebrities to hang out with one another. The accidental hotspot is right across from the exit ramp of the Manhattan Bridge in Chinatown.
That is awesome.
It looks neat, doesn't it? Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Andrea Jackson. We are answering a major question for small business owners right now. How can you fund your business with unsecured loans without using collateral? Here to show us the way is Amanda Webster. She's the COO of Fund and Grow. Fund and Grow is dedicated to business owners. Amanda, welcome back.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Let's talk about small businesses here. What factors should businesses consider when choosing an unsecured loan provider?
Well, there's a lot out there, so you got to be really careful. But the main thing is finding out what their minimum baseline criteria is and seeing what options you have, right? Everything has a cost to capital. So what options do you have? And you should always have multiple because it is really hard to get funded with unsecured. So making sure you understand all those pieces is vital to choosing the right one.
And the big question here is, how do the unsecured loans differ from traditional secured loans, especially if you're kind of a first-time small business owner looking to try and figure out how to finance your business?
Right. So unsecured, literally by definition, means we're not tying collateral or assets to it. So in the old, traditional way of securing loans, they're going to tie it to either the business, what the business owns, whether it's a building or land. And that's going to kind of put you in a risky position if you then default on it. So in an unsecured world, you're able to get funding without tying it to those assets and basically limiting that risk factor for you.
So I guess what are the main options and advantages if you're opting for an unsecured business loan, especially for startups or small businesses that might not have the collateral to offer? I mean, obviously the information that you just mentioned there, but what else could you suggest to other folks looking to apply for a loan?
So you want to make sure, I know it sounds crazy, but that your personal credit is kind of in a great position, because that's going to be one of the offsets to get unsecured lending, is to have that, backing there. Also, you're going to want to make sure that you have the right, you know, uh, revenue coming in. Looking at that, small businesses, there is lending out there in an unsecured world that you only have to be in business for 6 months. So there's options out there. I mean, as you grow in your seasoning, it's going to get more and more, but you can go as little as 6 months and be able to get unsecured funding. But you want to make sure that you are looking at all the options, because there's different vehicles for it, right? There's lines of credit, there's actual where they'll just put cash into your bank account, there's business credit cards, there's all kinds of different unsecured lending that you can get access to and not tie to those collateral pieces. But you will have to leverage other things like, say, your personal credit.
I guess the question would be, if you're just starting out, it's hard to show profit right out of the gate. So are they looking at profit as a way to determine what kind of unsecured loan they will give you?
So they're going to look at revenue, so you don't have to worry about your profitability
Okay.
necessarily in these types of loans, but they are going to look at that revenue coming in every month. And it's going to range anywhere from 10,000 a month all the way up to like 40,000 a month. So there is something there. There are choices and options out there, but the limited revenue you have will limit the amount of funding you can get. But you know what? Even if you can get $20,000, that could help you get to that next phase in business.
Sure. Interest rates are a big topic of conversation, whether it comes to credit cards or loans. How can business owners ensure they qualify for the best rates and terms when applying for these unsecured loans?
So again, I know it sounds crazy, but they all look at your personal. So you're going to want your personal credit score at a 700. That's going to be able to unlock all the different types that are out there. And then you want to get the best revenue sources you can get in there. So they only care about deposits. So just make sure you're actually depositing all of your revenue into that business bank account. Make sure you have a business bank account. Separate all your personal from it so that you can show that the business is generating that revenue. And then also just make sure that you have a true business setup. Your entity is set up correctly. You have an actual office space. Even if it's in your home, it's better than having, a UPS store type of office, mailbox. So you want to make sure you look like a legitimate business as you go into these types of funding.
And especially when it comes to filing those taxes, that's so important. With the growing popularity of online lenders for unsecured business loans, what are the key risks people should watch out for? Last question, just a quick wrap up from you.
Always looking for the scam or the fraud side, right? Do your research as a consumer, even though it's for the business, and make sure that that these businesses are legitimate and that they are lending money, because you will find yourself into some scams.
Amanda Webster, great information. For more on how to earn and use business credit, go to fundandgrow.com. Mitch.
Thank you, Jackson. With the holidays and the new year approaching, everyone is looking to update their appliances in their home, especially in the kitchen. Well, up next, a woman who spends a lot of time in there, nutritionist Joy Bauer. Hey there, good morning, dear Joy.
Hi, and thank you for having me. And I sure do spend a lot of time in my kitchen. It's basically my office, my food laboratory, my hangout space, and the heartbeat of my house. And of course, the resale value of our homes will always be there with top-notch, reliable appliances. So with that in mind, LG is ranked the #1 appliance brand in the US and was named one of America's most reliable line of home appliances by Consumer Reports. So what's new in the kitchen? From ranges to refrigerators, their appliances are beautiful and they're sleek, and they're also equipped with really cool, innovative features like AI technology and Wi-Fi compatibility. In other words, right from your smartphone, when you download their Think Q app, you could start to warm up the oven when you're on your way home in the car from work, or when you're driving a carpool, or you could even check what's in your fridge and whether or not you need to stop at the market and pick up milk. And their ranges are truly unique. This one has 2 high-power elements and 2 low-power ones, so it could not only bring water to a near boil quickly, I'm thinking about pasta, but will also simmer my tomato sauce without scalding it. And it's fantastic for baking and even broiling. Now, Because I spend so much time in the kitchen playing with food, you know that I'm also intimate with the laundry room. Imagine my sauce splatters, soup spills. Listen, if there's a mess to be made, trust me, it has happened in my kitchen. LG consistently stands out for its beloved full-sized washers and electric dryers, like this pair. They both have built-in intelligence that selects optimal wash or dry settings for you. So it takes all of the guesswork out of doing your laundry. You just tell it your load size and it will literally figure out how much water is needed for the wash and how much heat and time duration is needed for the dryer. It is so incredibly cool. You can go to LG.com to check out all their amazing products, and you could also find them at your local retailers.
You know, we try to give you a bevy of information here on the show, and sometimes you don't have a pen or paper down next to you. Don't worry.
Yes, it's true, because we've got a website. It's open 24/7.
There you go.
The drive-thru is still active?
Drive-thru is actually, yeah, but we're working on the shake machine right now still, so we don't know.
What is it with the shake machine?
It never works. You think like we would have it fixed, but not at this point, not the case at all. Anyway, check it out, dailyflashshow.com. We got more fun coming up after this. Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. It's Wow Wednesday. This is where we kind of bring us into our life. And we have a little bit of an update for you, Jackson.
Yeah, so remember when I showed you the security video of the person stealing our bougainvillea tree in the dark of night?
Somebody stole
tree thing.
Yeah, the tree thief. They took our tree in the middle of the night, they pulled it out of the roots, and then they wandered off with it. So I get tagged in a Facebook post the other day, and my neighbor says, we went to a Halloween party in the neighborhood, too funny not to share.
Oh my gosh.
We saw a couple there. We weren't sure what they were dressed as. We asked them, and they said, wanted to let you know that this couple dressed up as the thief
Here's
who
the picture.
stole
This is awesome.
the bougainvillea tree.
So they dressed up?
Well, the guy was the thief, and his wife was the bougainvillea tree.
Look at that.
And then, of course, he's got a T-shirt that says, I love my boo, B-O-U.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is fantastic. I don't know if
We
you
got
guys
the
can do
picture.
that.
Very
Yeah,
cool already.
We'll show you the picture. But anyway, so that was at one of the neighbors' Christmas parties.
That is still one of the craziest things I've ever
Right?
heard.
And no
of somebody
suspect.
stealing a tree.
Yeah, no suspect. Still no. I know one day we're going to see one of the properties for sale in the neighborhood, and I'll spot the
It's going to be a drone shot or something where somebody's like, oh, look at
It's
that.
nuts.
Yeah, if you would have done and followed my advice, I said put Apple AirTags on all your trees, and you didn't do it.
But
so.
we did it. We did it after the fact. Now they're all tagged with Apple tags.
You're not going to be able to get you.
Yeah.
You're not
So
going to be able to steal anymore.
You steal one of our bougainvillea trees, we will track you down.
Is there a market? That's what I want to know. Is there a market for that? Do you think they just planted it in their
Is
house?
there a market for stolen trees?
For stolen trees,
Stolen
yeah.
trees,
I mean,
I know. And then when we had to make a police report, and I felt like such an idiot. I'm like, I know this isn't a big deal.
And they already know you. They're like, Andrea Jackson's making a police report about a stolen
the fact
tree.
that our tree was stolen. He's like, okay, well, we'll send out a community officer to take care of
so
you.
you're saying your tree leaved? Is that what it is?
Ah!
I didn't
Yeah.
say that. The comp did. So Matt, he was
So
a
anyway,
dad too.
A for creative
I
effort
love
on
that.
the Halloween costume.
Do you know who that
No,
couple? So
I
that makes it
don't.
even cooler.
Which is better because it became such a big thing on the neighborhood Facebook page, and the fact that they did this was just lights out
That's really
fantastic.
cool. All right, tell them they win the Halloween costume.
100%, yeah.
Hey, we really love having you along, but we want you to know you can find us anytime. Matt, where do they need to go?
They need to go to dailyflashshow.com, and also you can look us up on the YouTube page, and you can check out Preview Review.
Does it
on
every week,
Facebook as well.
and
Love
you can
it.
find it there on our website. We really appreciate you having you along. Y'all take care. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you when we look at you.
Be good,
Bye-bye.
everybody.